boy stopped being lazy. Yeah. And I became creative. And I learned how to create it. And now that pride's for me. So come see. Oh, come here.
Welcome back to the Silver Lining Podcast. I am your host, Sterlington. This is our co-host, Cameron, and we're coming at you with another episode of the Silver Lining Podcast. The Falcons just started training camp. It's been going on for about a week. How you doing, Lil Cam? Before we get into that.
I'm feeling pretty good, man. The summer is kind of winding down a bit, but hey, my favorite time of the year is slowly approaching. We got football coming up, we got college, we got NFL. All the sports are going to be kicking in around this time. I love it, bro. It's a beautiful time of the year.
Right? And look, let's be real. We live in Georgia, so summer ending don't mean summer weather ending.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we kind of got that extendo clip as far as the summer go, right?
And it's good to have something to look forward to considering the Braves have been abysmal this year. And typically, I'm a Braves troop. I love the Braves. And I was thinking, hey, they're going to right the ship. The Braves always right the ship. But
Always.
this season is looking like we ain't going to right it this time. So, hey, hopefully the Falcons can pick up the slack. That's the optimism going on right now. We're hoping they can pick up the slack. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm liking the way our roster is set up. I'm excited about summer camp. I mean, not summer camp. Training camp. I'm excited about training camp.
In a way,
Yeah.
you're definitely gonna be sleeping over, right?
So yeah, bro, it's been about a week since training camp has started. A little bit over a week. So yeah, man, let's get into it.
All right, love to hear that. So look, obviously we not at camp, so we gotta just take it all in. We gotta hear, what these guys are reporting, what those guys are reporting, what everybody in between reporting, and reports are honestly pretty good. Now, I heard that Penix had a kind of rough day in 7-on-7 today, but for pretty much the majority of camp, he's been stellar, or at least very well. Very exciting, very good watch, something to watch. Kirk has been out there really challenging the defense in his scout team quarterback role, and I think this is one of them times to be excited, right? So we've been hearing that. I think one of the things I heard, I think I was listening to the Falcoholic and Adnan Ikic, and he said for like at least the first 4 days or so of training camp, they have not seen Penix or Kirk throw any interceptions.
I love it,
Right.
man. I love it. I mean, from two perspectives, like I love it in the sense that like we have a very good quarterback room.
Mm-hmm.
And Lord forbid anything happened to Michael Penix. Kirk Cousins pre-injury was pretty solid. He had us at 6-3. He was looking pretty good until that Saints game. He got hurt. He got a little bit banged up, and then he kind of fell off a cliff. His play kind of fell off a cliff, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Kirk is a tremendous professional. He's been in this position before in Washington, so this is nothing he isn't used to. And I'm optimistic, man. I'm loving the way our offense is looking. It's looking explosive, and I'm liking that Kirk is looking good as well. But at the same time, I like to see some of the defense have some plays as well, man. I don't want it to be all offense now.
Oh no, I heard defense out there making plays, and actually, speaking of which, one of them standouts we've been hearing about is one of the people who you really wanted to hear was standing out. Matter of fact, 2 of them. All right, now what names I'm talking about?
And especially considering we gave up a next year's first round pick, I'm assuming one of those guys is JPJ.
Yo, boy said, hey, they've been putting him on the second team, letting that man cook against some starters because they're like, hey, we can put you in that first team, but we want to see you against Jake Matthews and Caleb McGarry. Them boys
Yeah.
said, man, that boy James Pierce Jr. giving them hell.
Yeah, things are getting a little chippy, man. I like it.
Yeah,
I
got
like
boys
it.
ready to fight.
Iron sharpens iron. You love to
Yeah.
see
And look,
it.
that's what you need to see, man. Look, we got to get these boys ready to play, especially because Jalen Walker's hurt right now. He's out, and he needs the reps. But this is one of the what was so crazy. This is like the craziest feeling ever. Now, ask yourself this, right? Say this is any point in the last 20 years, and the Falcons take a first round edge rusher, and he get hurt and he ain't practicing in the first few padded practices, or really any practices, but especially the few padded practices. Where would you rate the panic meter for the Falcons fandom?
um. Also, just a little backstory for the fans who may not know. Jalen Walker is dealing with a mild hamstring strain.
Mm-hmm.
So just so the audience knows, he's dealing with
That's
a mild
right. In
hamstring
case you didn't
strain.
know, maybe we blessed and we was like your first place to pull up.
Exactly. So hey, typically the panic meter would be pretty high, but this year we got two, and one of them is showing his ass, and I like that. I like that. And hey, it's a slight grade one hamstring strain. Nothing to be too concerned about. Like I'm pretty sure he's going to play come week one. Like we got like what 6 more weeks until the
Yeah.
season starts. 5, 6 more weeks until the season starts. So
Mhm.
we got some time for players to heal up and get ready for week one. So if this was last year and we had maybe like Dallas Turner or something, the panic meter may be like at a 6 or a 7. But hey, this year, hey, I said like a 1 or 2, bro. I'm not even worried.
Well, I think you think Falcons fans calmer than they really are, man. Let's fucking be real. The Falcons panic meter would have been at a goddamn 11 on
Yeah.
the like,
I forget the team I cheer for.
because that's supposed to be hope. That's the thing about the pass rusher that you take in the first round with a team with the pass rush history we got. He would represent hope, and then he already hurt. You watching hope go down the drain. Because look, let's be real. This team is gonna have to have pass rush. All
Hmm.
right. Well, look, I ain't gonna lie, man. Look, I still got my concerns about the run game now. Reports out of camp as far as how we doing against the run is we've been pretty decent defending the run. But there have been some times where like that boy Tyler Algier ripped some off going against the defense. But I'm like, was it the second team defense or the first team defense?
Good
But
point. Good point.
um, Bijan doing his thing, and also to be fair. Alger ain't a scrub. Bijan's
Oh,
not
of course.
a
If
scrub.
I had to compare Algier, he's very reminiscent of Michael Turner on the Chargers.
Oh yeah, in the backup role and everything too. Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
he definitely got the physicality. I ain't gonna lie. Now back when and before we started like racking up the miles on Turner. Turner, he well earned that nickname, the Burner.
Boy,
Because when
I'm
Michael
trying to
Turner
tell
got
you,
out in front of
man.
you, you wasn't catching him. He got that big squatty body getting up to speed, boy. You wasn't about to run him down. But Algier, man, look, Algier got a couple of explosive plays. Maybe not runs, but I remember he had a huge touchdown against Chicago a couple of years ago.
I
So
know the exact play.
yeah, so
That little
like
screenplay.
yeah, he can finish some long plays. Um and but yeah, back to the defense. So James Pierce Jr. been out there acting up. The other guy that I was referring to that I've been pleased with what I'm hearing is Ruka Rororo.
Ooh, I'm glad you brought up Rook as well because
Exactly.
I've been hearing things about Rook, baby, and we need that considering we lost a stalwart, we lost essentially our like Walter Payton Man of the Year, our defensive juggernaut, our defensive captain, and Grady Jarrett's. We lost a true one, a real one, a true Falcon, and we're gonna have to have somebody to replace him. So
Yeah, man.
I am very concerned about our interior defensive line.
Mm.
We've made investments on edge, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm sure we'll be able to generate some kind of pass rush, but as far as like interior D line, I got some concerns.
Oh, bro, I got a lot of concerns about our ability to defend inside runs. So, when I really look at, and I haven't really heard anything about the linebacking core. Um, except for the fact that Troy is he's still injured, he's still on the sideline. Jalen Walker, who's obviously linebacker and edge, but mostly edge. I heard a couple of plays by Divine Diablo. Hadn't really heard anything about Caden Ellis. Let me not get too fast now. Because one of the things I did hear, so I watched some of the interviews too, some of the post practice interviews, and Caden Ellis was talking about Nate Ollie, right? And Nate Ollie was like basically like, I don't know if you him, Caden, man. I don't know if you him, and then or like that or something like that. I can't remember. But then he done seen Caden Ellis out there and seen him when he blitzed, and he was like, Nah, he him. He was like, Nah, I'm wrong. He him. And
Yeah.
look, so what I'm really hoping, I've heard we've been multiple in camp. Heard we've been doing some three-man fronts and some four-man fronts, which I like to see given our personnel. Now, with that three-man front shit, I'm like, we can't run that for real, like as a base defense type of deal. I mean, I've seen schemes in the past that run a three-man front, but a lot of it is still based on one gapping. Like Wade Phillips was a guy who did a lot of that. In Houston and in LA, right? That's why you can run a 3-4 defense with a guy like Watt and with a guy like Aaron Donald, and they still getting all them sacks. Like, don't get me wrong,
Hmm.
it's because those guys are studs, but a 3-4 ain't a scheme that help a down lineman get a bunch of sacks. But with Wade Phillips is 3-4, where you say, yeah, you wasn't 3-4, but you still running one gap and you still trying to get upfield. Then it's like, all right, all right, I can see the vision there. And so I can see a path where it's like, all right, we can do that. But if we over here trying to like really defend the run with the personnel, I don't see it, man. I don't see it happening at all. Um, before we get further into that, because we started talking about defense. So one of the other things wanted to get your temperature on. So back to the offense to start Cam on a catch attempt from a pass from Michael Penix. Darnell Mooney got hurt. Don't really know. Do we know anything about that? I know they've been kind of being like, real stingy with the information about that injury. You
It
know
seems like
anything?
it's like maybe like a shoulder sprain or something like that. I'm not entirely for sure. Raheem has been very non-committal about it. Well,
Yeah.
of course, I get it. It's the first week of training camp, but I'm assuming he'll play. I don't think it's too severe to where he needs surgery and won't play. But I'm assuming Darnell Mooney will play come week one.
Well,
We'll
I
probably
don't gonna
know.
lie, I ain't sure
I
if
mean, we'll see though. We'll know more in the next couple of weeks. But if I had to put money on it right now, I'd say he'll be ready week one. Because we got like 5-6 weeks until training camp. I mean,
hey
until week
man.
one. I'm I make that bet.
I don't know. I feel like they would have been committal about him playing in week one. They were kind of non-committal one way or the other.
I
And
mean, like how bad of a show? I mean, if it was bad enough to where he needed surgery, we would think he would have like kind of made that decision by now.
I don't think he needs surgery. I don't think it's like a season-ending injury or anything. I just think, we might mess around and, host Tampa without Mooney.
That's a possibility. I mean, like our shoulder. How long are shoulder surgeries? Like 8 week long? Are they like 8 weeks?
Shoulders are weird, man. And see, he'll receive it too. It's not like he's a quarterback, or a running back, but and from what I hear, it happened on a diving catch. So I'm just like, nigga, that could be fucking anything.
That could be
That
like
could be
a
like a
labrum or
AC
something,
joint or
or
something.
yeah,
Because
labrum
I
joint.
think SC, yeah, SC is sternoclavicular. So it's got to be the AC joint. You know what I'm saying? Right out there. It could be a rotator cuff, it could be a collarbone, but I mean, if it was a collarbone from laying on the other side, it would have probably been a broken clavicle. That's not what happened. So I don't know what's going on with that. I haven't. I'm not up to speed on what his role in practice has been with his injury. So like, if he's still been practicing, but he been held out of team things, then maybe I'm like not feeling too bad. Like with Jalen Walker, right? So for me, I get nervous about hammies, right? Because I'm oh yeah, of course. You ran cross country.
I
know,
mean, I was a
you know
distance
how to.
runner. Hammies was more like a sprinter's issue.
It is, but I meant to say though, have you had you've had a hamstring injury before, though, right?
Me personally, no.
Oh yeah, you fortunate.
I've had more like ankle and knee.
Nah, I definitely done had hammy injuries, with the football and the sprinting and shit, and
Yeah.
definitely done hurt the hammy. And boy, let me tell you, that's the closest you can get to being a human being and feel like you got a blown tire, right?
Man.
Like a blow. And what I mean by blown tire is it's a big issue, but it's not a big issue, right? Like there's definitely worse things you could have happen to your car. But when you get a blown tire, that car ain't going no fucking way.
No, I hear you. I hear
Man, and
you.
that's what a hammy is. It's like a blown tire. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like a mild hamstring strain. Obviously, like if you do something serious to it, it's worse. But you do something serious to it, it's like losing the whole damn wheel. But if it's like all right, yeah, I see why they're keeping them out because with the hammy, that can go either way. But with the shoulder, it's like what does that mean? Especially with them being non-committal about it. Like and plus with Jalen Walker, he's still on the sidelines working out. He's still, getting some work in. And I don't even know what's gonna go on with Troy, man. I'm like, yo, it's a good thing we got Devon Diablo. Damn, you know what? It just hit me.
What's
I
up?
wonder if they knew Troy was still like that, and that's why they signed Devon.
They had to have known.
Like I thought they was doing it because he had a history of getting hurt, but what if they did it because they knew he was gonna be hurt this year? And so it's like, well, if he already starting out, he gonna miss all the camp. He already starting out hurt, and like he in his contract, yeah. I mean, it's just more than likely that we won't be extending him. So that's why you bring in a guy like Devon, just because the odds is stacked against Troy.
No, of course, I agree. You're gonna need a contingency plan, especially with a guy who is shown to be that injury prone.
Yeah, man. Well, we'll see. But in the meantime, in an unrelated but surprisingly related note, the Falcons, since we last recorded, have added DJ Chark to the roster. What's your feelings about the old Chark, Chark tail?
I like the addition. We can never have too many receivers. We need another one. Our receiving room isn't necessarily the strongest. We got solid depth in the sense that, like, hey, if you want to include Kyle Pitts kind of as a receiver, then yeah. I mean, that kind of is his role. He's kind of like a hybrid. But yeah, we got Drake, we got Ray, we got Darnell, but he's hurt right now. So I'm not gonna be like it's like you said. He may not dress out week one. So we might be going with DJ Chark as our number two. That's a possibility. So we have that as well. We also got some younger guys who are making some splashes, but we'll see how things go. We got Nick Nash, undrafted free agent this year that we picked up. I love the addition. I know he's been having a decent camp so far. We also have
Yeah, but I don't think he's gonna be doing what Donnell Mooney does. That's what I'm
no
saying. Like he's Nick Nash isn't like a burner, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of what Mooney's role is. Mooney's kind of a get down the field, stretch the field, attack the defense deep. Nick Nash is built a little bit more to work in the slot a little bit as a big slot type of guy. So I'm like looking at maybe the Chark edition, and I really don't know what to make of it because of where Chark is in his career. Um, DJ Chark is a guy I had always been keeping up with because so I actually didn't really watch him at LSU, but one of my guilty pleasures, I enjoy a little Senior Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, not that's not the guilty part. Loving the Senior Bowl is great. You should love the Senior Bowl. The guilty pleasure part of it for me is getting way too attached to that one guy who went off in the Senior Bowl, right? And sometimes it work out. Now I remember Aaron Donald played in the Senior Bowl and he went crazy and that secured him as a first round pick. Believe it or not, there was thoughts that at the time the Falcons could get Jake Matthews in round one and Aaron Donald in round two.
mm,
That's a silly ass thought, right? Who's some
crazy.
other guys I fell in love with at the Senior Bowl? Some of them work out, some of them don't. Because I know I fell in love with Rashad Penny at the Senior Bowl. That shit did not work out. He went to Seattle and he couldn't get from behind Kenneth Walker ever, and I think he's with the Eagles now. I don't know. It ain't working out. He went crazy in the Senior Bowl. Um, oh my God. I know watching Chris Lindstrom at the Senior Bowl practices was great. Um, DJ Chalk was another one though. Sorry, I got distracted. I knew I was missing an obvious one. But yeah, DJ Chalk went crazy in the Senior Bowl, and I was like, all right, Chalk's the flavor of the year this time. And he had a decent career, but last few years, man, ain't been it, man.
Yeah, he's kind of been a journeyman the last couple years, so I'm not holding out too many hopes for him. We also got Casey Washington. Maybe he can play a little bit of a role. Who knows? Maybe he can develop into something. So as far as our receiving room goes, we got a couple definites and a whole bunch of maybes. A whole
So
lot of maybes. And
I, a
it
name
needs
I've
some
been hearing.
improvements, but as of right now, I mean, we got what we got.
So a name I've been hearing that's been kind of doing well in camp. Now this guy's mostly been connecting with Kirk Cousins, but I've been hearing David Sills been doing his thing in camp. And
Okay. That's another
I
name.
believe David Sills has a little speedier of a skill set. So that, I don't even know if he gonna make the roster. It's just hard to predict because injuries can change. How your roster shakes out to start week 1. But obviously, like I don't know, maybe we'll replace Mooney by committee just because we don't have that particular skill set in large supply on the team. You know what I'm saying? But I've been happy to hear about him as a camp standout. Him and Khalid Kareem. Khalid Kareem been around the league for a while. They say he cutting ass up in camp. Just for those who don't know, Khalid Kareem. Now, Khalid Kareem is not a receiver. He's an edge rusher. Um, I've been hearing his name pop up a lot. I think he was with the Falcons last year. I can't remember, but I mean, look, the only thing for Khalid Kareem is I don't know where his path to the field is. Maybe he can make the team if we ready to part with Braylon Trice or whatever. Oh, speaking of parting with Braylon Trice, boy, I heard a crazy rumor today. So for those not in the know, and this is news for us only simply because, you know, it's not necessarily Falcon related, but let's be real now. Even though we done invested a bunch in edge rusher, we done still gone about 20 years since we had a 40 plus sack season. So we had a 40 sack season in 2023. It's been 20 years since we had a 40 plus sack season. And I'm never going to close the door on talking about edge rushers. Michael Parsons just requested a trade from Dallas. And this one Twitter guy who, I don't know what uh his standing is in the community because I think his name was J Ben or something, and people been flaming him because he has like a lot of takes, and some of them pan out, but a bunch of them are a bunch of BS that he delete when he wrong. And he put it out there that the Falcons was interested in trying to acquire Marcus Parsons, so we didn't opened up talks again. And but once I saw the trade package that he was outlining, I was like, man, get the F out of here. I'm trying to not curse so much on the dang on pod, but that and really back, I gotta start saving my curse words because this was the time I was ready to curse. I'm like, nah, ain't no, oh, we about to bleep out the curse words. No, man, he talking about we'll give him Kyle Pitts, Tyler Algier, Braylon Trice, a first rounder from 2027, a second rounder, a third rounder, and swap forwards or something like that, something crazy like that. And I'm just like, is this dude already under contract?
I was about to say, and then on top of that, you got to pay him.
I'm like, I'm like, damn. I'm and the funny thing is, let me tell you what where I knew it was BS. It's because um he said we offered it, right? To me, I'm like, oh, y'all boys trying to take this shit back to like 1989. I think that's when it happened. It might have been a different year, but for those who are younger fans, who've heard about the Cowboys winning Super Bowls and noticed they ain't been doing shit in your lifetime, way back when the Cowboys put together the triplets, which consist of Troy Aikman, Emmett Smith and Michael Irvin, and they put that team together in large part due to a massive trade they made with the Minnesota Vikings, where the Vikings acquired Herschel Walker and basically gave up a whole bunch of picks to get him. And to be honest, that wasn't that was a crazy trade because it worked out, but trades like that were a little more common for a running back because that's just how the league was. The Saints did it to
Ricky
get
Williams.
draft Ricky Williams. Heck, honestly, even though this wasn't for a running back and this is way more recent, we benefited in a trade like that. It just you don't remember the trade that way because it worked out more for us than it did for the team, but we traded a metric fuck ton of picks for uh to acquire Julio Jones.
We did,
And
and he was worth every penny.
boy, really the only thing that made it a rough trade was that we didn't stick the landing on the other picks, so then it caused some issues. But the Browns didn't stick the landing on any of their picks. And well, Brown's gonna Brown.
Of course.
Yeah. But long story short, that trade with the Cowboys and the Vikings netted the Cowboys 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, 3-0 in the times they actually made the Super Bowl. And I think, and that was one of Jerry's first moves back then too. So that was like the best move he ever made in his career. And I think he about to do that shit again. Like he's stuck in a time period and the come and gone, man. And no chance. But hypothetically, Micah Parsons is up on the trade block. You're not going to convince me to not want Micah Parsons. I'm sorry. Look, I know people like, hey man, we got James Fish Jr., Jalen Walker, Leonard Floyd, yada 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 yada. All that's good and all. But Micah Parsons. That's all I got to say. That's my counter argument. And if you can get him on the team, especially because unlike Trey Hendrickson, who's also a very good pass rusher, Michael Parsons is younger. So he's still on the right side of 30. But with the contracts we got coming up, that would go crazy. That would go crazy. Uh, what's your thoughts? What trades would you be comfortable with if the Falcons said, "All right, we about to try to make something happen"?
Not the one you just listed. I know that's for damn sure.
Yeah,
Um,
not
I
me.
like Michael Parsons. The Falcons need a pass rusher. I'm not with paying that price. That is too steep of a price.
Yeah,
I'd say
I agree.
what's reasonable. Well, we gave up next year's first round pick, so we can't do that.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm already
I
kind of.
was thinking maybe next year's second and third, and then on top of that, throw in Tyler Algier or Cal Pitts. I don't want to lose both of them.
Yeah,
I'd rather get rid of Pitts and keep Algier, but maybe Pitts too. Throw Pitts in there, so maybe like because at the end of the day we have to pay him. We are the ones who are gonna have to
yeah,
foot the bill for him. So I don't want to give up too much, and then on top of that, we have to pay him, and then we have guys coming up with extensions soon, like Drake London, Bijan. We got guys who we have to pay coming up.
back to
So
back to back.
back to back to back. Thankfully, we get Kirk's money off the books next year, so that'd be nice.
Yeah.
But
I can't imagine us extending Pitts either unless he has a crazy year. And maybe we franchise tag him, but that's not like the saving that everybody else think it is. People don't want us to pay. I saw a lot of people don't want us to pay Pitts. They're like, oh, just tag him. And to be fair, actually, tagging Pitts would be the smart move because if you tag, because when you tag a player, for those who don't know, when you tag a player, that player gets the average salary of the top 5 salaries at their position. Now, where we really get ahead on the tag with Pitts is that a lot of uh tight ends, can get paid like a receiver, but the tight end tag don't really work like that. So the tag for Pitts wouldn't be absorbent. And honestly, I'd say yeah, go ahead and do it again. But if you don't have to pay Pitts and then you got Kurt coming off the books and you know maybe you could. I don't know, man. I can't see the vision, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm in the same boat. It's one of those things where like if he did this next year, maybe we can like have this discussion. But as of right now, just how our team is built, we can't really afford him.
Yeah, not really. Not it's because like it's look, it's the same thing with like as with the Lamar Jackson trade. The problem with the Lamar Jackson trade wasn't just the picks, is that you gotta still pay the guy. You know what I'm saying? Trading for a guy already under contract, all right, you got me there, because then you could just, work the particulars out about the money, however, but you already know the guy's under contract. But then when a guy not under contract, I'm like, man, you ready to implode your team just to make this happen, just to have him on your team. You know what I'm saying? And look,
Yeah.
I try to think maybe you could give him this crazy long contract and do a bunch of void years or something like how Philly does. You just backload everything. But at the same time, what if, and I'm not putting this out there now. Y'all know me. I love me some Penix, but what if Penix bust? Now you SOL. You probably like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought about how stupid that trade was again. I'm like, that's a quarterback trade. That is not a trade for a pass rusher. All right,
I
like,
agree, man. I agree.
but yeah. Sorry, it's preposterous. All right, for anybody thinking that that's a reasonable deal, um, for a guy like Michael Parsons, it's not. And look, for all we know, we might get lucky. One of the things Michael Parsons said, I remember from his rookie year, and apparently it's just like this for some guys. Michael Parsons, he said, yeah, man, NFL shit kind of easy. And people was like, oh, for those who are listening only, I got my eyes wide open and I'm looking side to side, like, y'all hear this guy talking like that? Like, but it turned out he was right, at least for him. And I'm pretty high on James Pierce Jr. I really love the way he moves. And I love the way he reads. Like, I always bring him that play he had in college, where he had the pick six in the bowl game against Iowa. And the thing I really loved about that play is not even the pick six part, although I do love the speed to get away from guys. It was just how fluid his hips looked in coverage. Like, he looked like a fucking natural. Like, I watched a bunch of Jalen Walker. Honestly, Jalen Walker really didn't look that good dropping back to me. Um, but when I watched James Pierce, bro, he looked like a natural. Like, he did not look uncomfortable going away from the ball. And I think James Pierce might be a guy that, the NFL a little easier for. At least certain parts of it. I'm not saying he's not going to struggle in run support. Micah did too. But that boy James Pierce, I think he gonna probably get us at least 7 sacks. He might break the team record for most sacks by a rookie.
For our sake, I hope so.
I think there's a legitimate
For
chance.
our sake, I
You
hope so,
know,
man.
he in camp and he keep kicking butt, and I'm like, yo, um, I could see that. I mean, look, I think one of the things too as a Falcons fan is, like, let's be real, man. This team beat the hopium out you so bad for so long, you're scared to, like, feel positive. Either you're scared to feel positive, or you know you always happy and you ready to be overly positive over camp and shit. I'm kind of like in the wait and see mode, but I am excited. All right, and especially excited for James Pierce Jr.
No, I agree, man. I agree. I'm excited for JPJ. I'm excited for Jalen Walker. I'm excited to see what this defense can do, man. We
Yeah,
got we got a bunch of shiny new toys. Let's see how we put it all together, man.
yeah. So before we get out of here, obviously next week, the preseason game start. Hall of Fame game was last night, by the way, for those forgot to mention it, but we're recording this on the 1st of August. So the Hall of Fame game was in July. Funny. Um, what camp battle? are you the most excited about with how it's going?
Uh, you mean like between our preseason
It
opponents?
don't even no, not that. Just we kind of up in the air at safety. We up in the air at nickel. We up in the air at in some parts of the wide receiver parts. It's like
I'm looking to see how the secondary shapes out, man. Who's gonna play our because we know Jesse Bates' position is solidified.
exactly.
Who's going to play the other safety? How is the rest of our secondary going to shape up? Because we have two positions that are just locked up: AJ Terrell and Jesse Bates. The other
Mhm.
positions are open for battle. If I'm
Yeah,
being
man.
completely
Look,
honest.
I want to see how the nickel cornerback shake out, mainly because I've been hearing D. Alford is leading that. He's getting all the reps and everything.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, we have 3 preseason games, and I guarantee you those rookies are going to play. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we got.
All right, man. Well, look, we running out of time right here. It's Friday. I gotta take care of some things today and tomorrow. Cam got to take care of some things tonight, and you know. Go ahead, time to close the door on this one. So appreciate everybody for coming in to listen to us and give our updates about camp. We're gonna probably follow up throughout the preseason, right up until we get to some games that we can cover, see who did what and what preseason games. But yeah, we're gonna be here until the season starts, and then we're excited. We back to that regular schedule where we can drop 2 episodes a week, and we already kind of got it all set up. So we were super excited about that part coming up. But yeah. Thanks for coming out to hang out with us and talk about this. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, hit the little bell when you want to hear some real niggas uploading. Peace.
Peace.